Well, hello, and a very happy Saturday morning to all my controversy cruisers out there, controversy casters out there. We are here for episode number 36 of the Controversy Cast. I can't believe there's already 36 episodes in the wing. I honestly didn't even know if this was going to be a thing when I started this back. I didn't even know if it was Saturdays when I started it way back when. But here we are, 36 episodes in. Today's episode is going to be a little bit more of a conversation with all of my cruisers that come into the podcast. I wasn't able to really find any really good cruise news. I know there's some crazy things going on in the cruise world, but I am not going to report on bad things happening in the cruise world, stabbings and medical evacuations and all that other stuff. You guys can go to other channels to find that other thing, things like that. We're not going to report about that on the Controversy Cast. So we're going to have a controversial discussion since I know my seasoned cruisers and my first-time cruisers all come in here, and this is a close-knit group of cruisers that love to talk about cruising on a Saturday morning. So before we get into that, let's roll out our mug shots segment because I want to take a sip of coffee and I have a very special mug shots segment. I am not even sure that this creator has his own mug, but I have his mug. And I do want to thank Denise from Bone Tired Travelers for putting this together. But today's mug shots feature comes to you by Mr. Coca Culture. That's right. This is a mug shots, and today's mug shot segment comes to you from one of my favorites, Mr. Coca Culture. I know I rank on him probably the most on YouTube next to Eddie Lugo Studios, but that just means I really do love you and I really do admire you. So Zach from Coca Culture, please go over and check him out. Also something new that I'm doing, popping that up there, Mr. Coca Culture, so you guys can go on over and check him out. He has wonderful premieres, also has wonderful lives every single week. And again, I think I am the only one with his mug because you guys don't have one. And Zach, you don't have one yet either. So as Jimmy says, best sip of the day for this wonderful mug shots segment and feature. Nice big sip of coffee on this Saturday before we get into our discussion. So thank you, Zach, and thank you, Denise, but thank you, Zach, for your wonderful Coca Culture mug. Stolen that little sip. And if you would like your mug featured on mug shots, please send me an email at controversialcruising@gmail.com and we can set it up. So thank you very much, Mr. Coca Culture. Let's get into our chat today before we get into our topics. Oh my God, I forgot I even have a chat. First into the podcast is Mr. Eddie Lugo Studios. That's how I knew I wasn't going to cancel. Hello, good morning, Mr. Eddie. Cruise Nuts is also here. Hello, Cruise Nuts. Welcome in. Happy Saturday to you. Mr. Frankie Floyd is here. Mr. Emerald Coast Cruiser. Love that name. Dustin Anderson is also here. Hello, Dusty. Ohio Travels with Chris is here. Hello, Chris. My aunt and uncle are here. Aunt June and Uncle Brady. You guys change your name from Journeys with June and Brady to Aunt June and Uncle Brady? I like that. I like that. Let's see. Mr. Ross is here and feeling better from his migraines for the last 3 days. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Ross. And hope you and Donna are having a great weekend. Let's see. Mr. Greg from Cruise Life TV. Greg and Michelle and maybe Uncle Dave is listening in. Hello, guys. Good morning to you. Mr. Rick from Texas Cruiser is here. Hello, the Texas Cruiser, not from Texas Cruiser. Rick, the Texas Cruiser. Good morning, folks, he says. And there's our mugshots feature, Mr. Webster, a.k.a. Coca Culture, a.k.a. Mr. Zach. Welcome in. Nuts says, I have something special for you arriving this week. Ooh, uh-oh. I can't wait. Maybe it's a mug. DeFam Adventures is here. Hello, Mr. Ron. Welcome in. How are you doing? How are you and the fam doing today? See what I did there. Antoinette at Fun, my good friend, is here. Hello, Antoinette. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Good to see you. Will G joins us and says, a morning, y'all. Morning, Mr. Will G. Anthony is on the move, and he's on the move into the podcast. Hello, Mr. Anthony. Welcome in. Happy Saturday to you. My last fellow cruise mate is here, Mr. Mark Booze. Hello, Mr. Mark. Welcome in. I'm sure you are getting ready for brunch. Take me to brunch. Jen.Cohen is here. JDC. I hope you are having a good time down in Comic-Con, over in Comic-Con for me. I wouldn't say down, but over in Comic-Con. Hope you're having a good time. Can't wait to see some vlogs and some pictures start to drip out. The fake captain is here, Mr. Captain Billy J. Ahoy there, Scott. Ahoy there, everyone. Ahoy there, Scott. Excuse me. The fake captain is here. Well, welcome on in. You know, these episodes go really fast, and then I realize that means I've been doing almost one a week. Obviously, I've canceled some, but 36 weeks. I mean, hey, that's almost a year that I've been doing this podcast. That's crazy. Let's see. Cap will be on at 11 a.m. EST. Oh, okay. Captain Billy J will be on at 11 a.m. EST. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Love that. Make sure we didn't miss anybody else. Miss Angie is here. Miss Floaty Bodie. Hello, welcome in. Happy Saturday to you. Zach says, thanks, Rick. It's really all Denise. It was. I opened the package from Denise and I sent her a picture. I said, what is this? And she said, well, Zach really wanted you to have it, and he coordinated it with me. So this is really from Zach, but I had to put my return address on it. I said, oh, okay. And then I texted Zach right after. So I am so lucky to have one of these mugs. My mug shelf is actually filling up now, so it's great. I'm gonna have to find a second mug shelf. Shay's Adventures is here. Hello, Shay. Welcome in. Great to see you. Mr. Bill from Warmstrong Adventures is here. Good morning, Mr. Bill. Hope you are having a great day and a great rest. Oh, you know, you're home. You're home now. I was gonna say your great cruise. Duh. Just a handle change. Mail and everything is still Journeys. Okay, got it. The Moonlight Adventures is here. Hello, Josh and Chastity. Welcome in. Happy Saturday to you guys. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Ohio Travels with Chris is also here. Hello, Chris. Happy Saturday to you. Law Jones wishes everyone a good Saturday morning, everyone. Good Saturday morning to you, Mr. Law. Cheryl is here. I hope you guys caught that do not laugh challenge last night with Cheryl. Cheryl from Cruising is Fun Anytime, and the Cam Fam, Miss Kevlin and Mitch and myself. That was very, very hilarious. So Randy from Scrow's Nest is here. Hello, Randy. Great to see you. Happy Saturday. Keisha also joins us. Good morning, Scott. Happy early Saturday, my friend. Happy early Saturday to you. Love waking up with my close-knit cruisers that love to talk about cruising. Let's see here. Okay. And Miss Nettie and JT has come in. Hello, Nettie. Welcome in. Happy Saturday to you. Okay. So we have a sort of a round table discussion today. Again, as I alluded to, there are some crazy things going on in the cruise world that I particularly don't want to talk about. They may be controversial, but I do not want to talk about the norovirus or the stabbings going on cruises or any of those crazy things that you might have heard. Because we don't really know the full extent of all of the story. So I'm not going to come up here and talk about something that we don't know the full details about. Second of all, it's the weekend and I'm not going to take the mood down with that. And third of all, I have so many cruisers here, we can just have a discussion. So I decided to pick out some things from a Reddit sub-read that I like to read on cruising. And there's a lot of questions in there. So I figured that this would be a really good time to talk about some things for people that might find this podcast that don't normally come live, that watch it on the replay. And I figured that we could all kind of have this round table discussion. So the first thing that I want to ask all of my cruisers, and then we'll go back to the chat because this is more of like a vlogcast, not a podcast. I don't put it anywhere else. But my first question to all of my cruisers, and everybody can answer this, okay, is big time cruisers or any cruisers. What is one port that you will never go to again? And I X'd out the person's name who asked this on Reddit, but what is one port that you will never go to again and why? And basically, this is my question to you. If you are a big time cruiser or any type of cruiser, what port would you never visit again? And what happened to make you feel this way? And obviously, I will tell you guys one port that I'm not too fond of, but I'm kind of interested to have this discussion. I know there's like 30 of us in here, and some of us cruise more often than others. But think of a port that you may have been to, and you're like, you want to know what? I'm not going back. Or if I do end up going back because it's itinerary on other cruises that I want to go to, and I unfortunately have to go to X port, I'm just going to stay on the ship because X, Y, and Z. Tell me what port, if there is, and you want to know what, if there's not, and you just enjoy every port, even if there's nothing to do, or if you feel unsafe, whatever, just tell us, right? What port do you feel out of your entire cruising journey that you just don't really like to go to anymore? Or again, that you don't feel unsafe? Because I'll give you a perfect example, right? 10 years ago, when I went to Belize, felt somewhat safe. I had a really good friend in Belize too that I met from cruise excursions and things like that, and we stayed in contact. And he actually moved to the States. I never linked up with him in the States, but he's still in the States. And 10 years ago, took me on excursions. I mean, it was great, private excursions, things like that. We had vans and buses and whatnot, but it was super, super cool to see Belize. Nowadays, if I went back there, he is obviously not there anymore, but it's not as safe as it was. There is a lot of things going on in Belize that there wasn't 10 years ago. Obviously, everywhere else in the United States and other countries too, but Belize is just one of those examples, and it's not my example that I'm giving you, but it's one of those examples that it's like, Belize 10 years ago? Yeah. Belize now? I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing in Belize before I get off the ship? All right, let's see what you guys have said, and then I will tell you what mine is. Maybe some of you guys will actually say the one that I'm saying because it's a pretty popular port. So, and I didn't capture their answers. I'm sorry because I wanted to capture your answers. We don't know the people on Reddit, so I wanted to capture your guys' answer. Da, da, da. Okay. Angie says Freeport, nothing to do there. Guess what? I think that's mine too. We matched. Freeport, nothing to do, says Angie. Okay. Cheryl actually says that and echoes and says Freeport, nothing really to do there. Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree. In this 3 for 3, I'd say Freeport, just nothing much to do there. That is our pool day on the ship. That's very smart. Stay on the ship when some people get off, especially if they're new cruisers and they don't know about Freeport. They're going to be trying to get off the ship. And then you guys have the pool area and the kids' splash zone and all that kind of to yourself in a way, sort of. Here's another one. Princess K, a tender process was horrible, even on a small ship. Yeah, you want to know what? I know it is kind of the year of the private destinations and the private islands and things like that, but it really drags you down when you have to get on a tender ship or a tender boat, tender whatever, a chicken tender to get to the private island. Sometimes it could take 15 minutes, but sometimes it could take 45. You could be sitting next to two people that are sweating or right next to you and you're sweating, and it's not my ideal. Anytime I got to take a tender port, I'm always thinking, what is the one time that I can get off the ship that most people will? I don't even care if I got to be the first one. I don't care if I got to be the last one, but I do not want to be sandwiched in the middle at like 8:30 when the mass amount of people are trying to get to wherever we're trying to get to. So good advice, Dustin. I've never actually been to Princess K, I don't think, or No, I don't think I've ever been to Princess K. Let's see here. Rick says Belize. Okay, there you go. We will go there, but stay on the ship. I don't like the long tender ride. Yes, Belize is another tender. I forgot about that actually. And there's nothing to do that appeals to us. I know it was a really really good port about 10 years ago. Again, when I went on those private excursions with my friend, he really showed me some of the things in Belize that maybe you don't get to see with a normal tour guide, whatnot. But I definitely got to see some really cool things in Belize that I don't really know if it would be too safe right now. So there is not too much that does appeal because of the different crime rates and things and crime activity that's going on in Belize. But yeah, I right now for me, if I'm going back to Belize, I'm also with you. I am staying on the ship. So let's see. Oh, this is one that I've never been to, Labadee, and I know that there has also been some unrest a little bit over there with a little bit of crime that has kind of went up. I think it's kind of went down kind of in 2024 was where they were like, oh, we might close off Labadee to some cruise companies that go there. But Labadee overcrowded and the vendors are over the top aggressive. Oh yeah, I can't. That's one thing. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I love a good haggle. I love a good, $5 for a bracelet. Okay, 350. Okay, 450, 425. Okay, $4. Okay, good. Boom. I love a good haggle. But right when I'm like walking away and I'm really walking away and I'm walking away and like, you like come and find me and then like grab me to like, oh, come on, $2, $2. Like, no, we're not doing that. Over aggressive. Yeah, I don't like that. And then also when you're trying to like sit on the beach or you're just trying to enjoy drink at the bar and then somebody comes over and they're still trying to sell you their like, mini deer antlers or whatever. It's like, come on, man. Like, really? Let's see. Nuts says there are no ports that I don't dislike. If you don't like a port, you just stay on the ship. Yeah. And you want to know what? I think a lot of people end up choosing to do that because the ship obviously isn't as crowded when there's some people trying to get off the ship. So that's exactly what I do. I just stay on the ship. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Greg shares the DR. Okay, not Amber Cove. We love that one. But the other port in the Dominican Republic, I can't remember the name. That's how much it didn't mean anything to us. Oh, wow. We could care less if we went back there again. Yeesh. Yeesh. Okay. You want to know what? So if there was another one to me that is kind of like that, and I don't know if I would stay on the ship, but you want to know what? I could really care less if I went back there, but I know if I do go back to Alaska, I'm probably going to have to go back there. But it's Victoria, British Columbia. Sorry for all my British Columbia fans, but Victoria ain't got nothing to do there. And I know that we do that for the Passenger Vessel Act, that you have to, hit the foreign port before you come back to the United States. But Victoria, such a waste of time. Ain't nothing to do there. And honestly, I'm lucky I even remember the name. I did a circle. I came off the ship and I came right back on. And I'm sure most of you have done that too. Oh, I waited for Uncle Brady outside of the gift shop for 15 minutes while it was just way too crowded in there. Stop Freeport would be number 2. Yeah, and you want to know Freeport was mine. I got off in Freeport. Actually, the 2 times I went to Freeport, there's 2 different Freeports. But the one in Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, I believe, that was not even a port. I don't even know where we pulled into. There was nothing there except taxis to take you somewhere else because it wasn't even a real port. But the last time I went to Freeport was on Carnival Dream, I believe. And again, there was nothing really there. It was kind of like a parking lot that was kind of just made up to feel like a port with some shops out in the distance. So yeah, Freeport for me, not it. And I'm not about to do excursions in Freeport. I know there's beautiful beaches and all that other stuff, but no, I'm not swimming with pigs. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just no. Especially with the lady that swam with the pigs and it ate at her face with the parasites. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't swimming with pigs. I ain't eating pigs. Sorry, not doing it. Used to say Roatan, but I understand that NCL or someone has updated the port too. Too many folks asking us for tour money. Yep, all the way. I thought I had to fight just to get through the gauntlet. Yeah, I know. It takes the vacation out of vacation, right? When you're just being like constantly haggled at these ports. It's like, come on, man. Don't have any negatives for cruise ports yet. I love that, Keisha. Keisha's like, just go anywhere. I don't care. I'm not home. I'm somewhere else. Sorry to hear Belize has gone downhill. We were there about 10 years ago and really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it too about 12 years ago. It was a fun port. It was a really fun port, and you definitely didn't feel as unsafe as you do now if you go there. I don't think I'll ever do a tender port. Okay, I just hate the sound of yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's better if you get a tender port that is a longer tender port, like a 10 to 8, right? Because then you can kind of like wait, or 8 to 8 is like ideal, right? But 12-hour tender port is very rare. So like an 8 to 8, right? You can get off the ship at like 11:30 or 12 when everybody else has gotten off, and you just kind of walk off. But usually it's like an 8 to 4. Right. So if you get off at 12, you really only have like 2.5 hours, 3 hours before you got to start to get back on the ship. And then even if you're going to wait 2.5 hours when you get out at 12, guess what? When you get back on, you're going to be met with a mass amount of people also trying to get on. So it's kind of like, yeah, I agree with you, Zach. Definitely not one of my favorite things. I'll give you one that may surprise you. Okay, cool. Last time we were at Perfect Day, we stayed on the ship, and we may keep doing that. Oh, Perfect Day at Coco Cay, kind of over the Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Now, Josh and Chastity, is that because you've been there so many times? Is that because of the money that they're trying to have you spend every time you get off the ship, and you feel like you're just being sort of like nickel and dime to have this experience at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and you feel like you can't have the perfect day without spending a perfect amount of money on perfect day at Coco Cay? Or is it something completely different? Just let us know. I'm interested. Word up, says Tuber Chat. Hello, Tuber Chat. Welcome in. Welcome in. Angie says, got to run, and have a good day, Angie. Thanks for coming on in. Shared on Reddit. I love Reddit. That's where our questions are coming from today, actually. And Josh says, a perfect day is a long walk, and we feel like the ships are more fun than the island. Wow. Wow. I mean, honestly, I know I didn't go to Perfect Day last time. I went to Ocean Cay for MSC. But for instance, right, if I was one that continually went back to Ocean Cay or something like that, and I've been there 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14 times, I might stay on the ship too, on a ship like kind of like World America or something like that, that had a lot of amenities and a lot of things to do. So, and even if it's a smaller ship, sometimes the smaller ships can be more fun than the islands too. Cabo San Lucas is also a tender port. It is, but a lot of good shopping over in Cabo San Lucas and June. I don't know if I can miss that. NCL has a private island in Belize. It was nice. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. I haven't been on NCL in 20 something years. NCL Dawn was the last one. I don't even know if she's still sailing anymore. Security at Labadee also seems to be very lax. Ooh, that's not too good. Victoria, most things are closed when the ships are in, and it's too short of a stop. I know it's 4 hours at night, like 8 o'clock at night. Who wants to get off the ship at 8 to 12? And I know they have to do it for other reasons, and it's not for us, but still. Let's see. Rick shares, over the 37 years of cruising, we have sailed more for the ship than the ports. Oh, okay. We do have our favorites, though. St. Thomas, St. Martin, Curacao, and Cozumel. Oh, Cozumel made your favorites. I love that. We love to stay on ship during ports of call. So most ports of call, Rick is staying on the ship, except for those 4. Interesting. I like that. I like that. Duh. Linda says, good morning. Hello, good morning to you, Linda. Freeport and Bimini are our least favorites. Ooh, I wouldn't say Bimini is one of my favorites, but I do like Bimini. I like to get off, and I like to haggle for one of those golf carts, and then I like to do my own little, I feel like I'm on Mario Kart, 5.0, Captain Controversy on Bimini, and I just like, you just like pull into the bar for like a beer, you're like, and then you go past the Virgin Bimini Beach Club, and you're like, oh, should I go in there? I love Bimini. Sorry. It's just an exploring port at heart. It's not very big, and yes, there's not very much to do there, but when you give me a golf cart, I will find some things to do for sure. But Freeport, I definitely agree with you. I could take or leave Freeport. My wife wants to swim with a pig. Told her she lives with Dustin. I don't. Yeah, after seeing that whole parasite thing, and yeah, no, just not. No. not doing that. Not doing that. I don't like any of the ports in the US. Wow. Because when you visit again, I get kicked out of the ship. Shake my head. Why? Says Eddie. Why? Oh, Lord. Da, 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 da. That's right. Medi is out of bail money by then. Hello, Denise from Bone Tired Travelers. Welcome in, Denise. Happy to see you. Keisha says, I've done 2 different excursions on Freeport and enjoyed the beaches. Yes, they do have beautiful beaches. I'm not taking that away from them. The port in March while on my Carnival Glory cruise was not too bad at all. I liked the port. I liked that the port was small and not too overwhelming. Yes, Freeport is definitely very small. So for those that can feel a little overwhelmed by larger ports, I can definitely see that. But yeah, Freeport's just not for me. We like the quiet and relaxing, so staying on the ship at Coco Cay was ideal for us. There you go. Just like Josh and Chastity. For us in the solarium. Okay, so you enjoyed some solarium time. I like that. In Roatan, I will get off the ship where the royal ships dock and buy several bottles of rum. Drink a local beer and then reboard the ship. Ain't nothing wrong with that, my friend. I love that. I love that. Yeah, in Victoria, we took a tour to a brewery, the only brewery there. Ship got in at 8:00 at night. While on the bus, the bus driver was pointing out things, and we just said we couldn't see. Look at that over there in the pitch blackness. Wow. Yeah, it's just. And yeah, there's one bus station, and I think there's like 4 buses for all of the people trying to get downtown because the only thing in Victoria is downtown. So you got to go downtown. I am good. Thank you very much. I always buy tequila and my 2 bottles of Kahlua for $20. Ooh, yes, I load up with alcohol on my cruises. I mean, hey, it's smart. It's really smart. I do not blame you. Okay, cool. So let's get into our next one. I think the cruisers that are going to rewatch this definitely have enough on the ports to kind of make that decision whether they want to stay on the ship or not. I knew you guys would help me out on that one. So this also next one comes from Reddit, and we are going to talk about cruise regrets. Cruise regrets. What are your cruise regrets? Any cruise that you would never go on again, any location you will avoid, which we just talked about, or any excursions you regret paying for and why? Any cruise regrets during your time of cruising? I know we don't like to live in regrets, and we don't like to regret cruising, right? And we're there even if it's a bad time. All right, we're going to be there and make the best of it. But have you ever been in a situation where you've been on a cruise, you're a couple days in, and you're just like, I think I regret booking this cruise for A, B, C, or D, right? And there may be, right? And you want to know what a slew of you may all say, you want to know what, Scott, I've never, ever regretted a cruise. I might have regretted the slice of pizza that I decided to get the formaggio instead of the, Il Italiano, but I never regretted a cruise. Okay. Or I regretted, getting the boneless pork butt instead of the bone-in pork butt, right, Mitch? So just saying. Oh, now my coffee's cold. I regret that one. All right, let's see what you guys have said in the regret department. And I thought that was kind of interesting. That thread actually had a lot of responses to it, positive and negative both. But there was like 450. I wasn't going to pull any of them up. I want your guys' responses. But I was pretty intrigued to see that 450 people had some sort of something to say about regretting a cruise, or not cruising, but regretting a certain cruise or a certain circumstance. We're talking about a certain cruise or a certain circumstance, not cruising in general as a whole. I don't think you'd be here if you regretted cruising, just saying. And my aunt says, I used to buy the chocolate Sheridan on the ships, but now they only carry coffee flavored. Well, we might just have to keep on looking for you, Aunt June. Let's see here. Never again Carnival Crapradiced. Yes, that I. So no, I didn't regret that cruise, Ross. There was a lot of good things that came out of that cruise. Obviously, now I know that I don't really care for the Carnival Paradise, but I wouldn't say that I regretted it. I know that I won't sail back on her unless, I don't know, I'm getting paid thousands of dollars to go on it. I don't know, but I'm not going to sail on the Carnival Paradise again. But I wouldn't say I regretted it. I didn't regret it. I definitely didn't regret it. And I got to room with you, and I got to meet all of these other wonderful content creators, Eddie and Cheryl and Jeremy and and Alice and Raina and Kathy Mills and the Nuts, both of the Nuts. It was amazing. Hannah, it was so great. Regret not taking more cruises. I know. I know. I was in double work meetings yesterday and the day before, and I was trying to figure out how I can get more PTO because I can only take one more cruise this year. Otherwise, I will come back and I will not have any jobs. And the only thing I will be doing is streaming on YouTube. So I'll be like Zach and I'll be live like 5 days a week. So, but you don't want that. Oh, wait, I'm already live 5 days a week. Sorry. A bad cruise is better than a good day at work. You're right. I regret not eating more guys burgers. I don't know. You want to know what? I definitely have some guys burgers, but it's kind of it's it's one of those things where it's not like a must for me anymore. Probably because I've been on so many, and I know that it's just kind of really a burger at the end of the day. It's nothing. It's good, but I'm not going to go over the top to eat, a guy's burger every day. If I have one on a cruise now or two, that's a lot. No regrets yet. Okay, I know you're taking your first cruise on the ABC's cruise, which I might find myself on. So that's next year when the PTO canister is a little refilled, at least. Oh, I regret eating at Shebang. Interesting. Now, did you pay for the Shebang? Because I know during the intro first year, they let you have lunch there once for free. And then if you went for dinner, even if you went for dinner the first time, you had to pay, I believe. So did you do the paid for or did you do the free? Not that it matters, honestly, if you regret it. The experience that I had, it was okay. I thought it was mid, like a 5.5-ish or a 5. It wasn't anything to really write home about. So I can understand that. Let's see. My feelings are you make a cruise bad for yourself. Well, I'm not really talking about making the cruise bad, just something that you may have regretted, right? And maybe you don't regret the entire cruise, but something that, along the way, a cruise excursion or a decision that you made, maybe you were like, extra drunk and you're like, hey, let me just go throw $200. I never gamble. Let's do it. I feel lucky. And you throw $200 in and boop, boop, boop. 15 minutes later, you're like, this is why I don't do this. I regret this. And then you start sobering up. You're like, I wanted the $200 to buy pictures and Wi-Fi. And I'm just making up a scenario. I don't know. But more about certain scenarios that happened on a certain cruise. Not, obviously we all have the decision to make the cruise bad or good, of course. My regret is going to Alaska and apparently at the wrong time of year. This is a good one. Okay. So my regret is going to Alaska apparently at the wrong time of year. I have yet to do a whale excursion. We have paid for them, but 2 of them got canceled. I don't do Alaska at the end. Don't do Alaska at the end of September. True. Very, very true. Now, so here's the thing with Alaska, right? I've been both times. I've been in the very early season and when the season started, and I've been towards the end, almost September, but it was like the end of August. Now, the pros and cons for both of those, as we're talking about Alaska, if you go earlier in the season, right when it opens up, May-ish, right? End of April, May-ish, right? You're going to see a lot more wildlife. You're going to get to see the whales. You're going to get to see the baby whales. You're going to get to see the eagles, the sea lion, all the bald eagles, all of the wildlife is going to be out and abundant, right? They're having babies. They're reproducing. You're going to get to see the salmon and all of that. Now, if you go towards the end of the season, right? Really, you're not going to see as much wildlife. You definitely will, and you might see a whale breach every once in a while, but it's going to be definitely far and few in between when you go at the end of the season. But the one thing that you have a chance to see at the end, if you're very lucky, and Uncle Brady and myself were able to see it. Luckily, the only Carnival Luminosa sailing in 2024 that got to see it, apparently. but we got to see the Northern Lights. So that was really, really special. It was something that I never dreamt that I would actually see in person. The boat almost tipped over when all 3,000 of us ran out at 1:30 in the morning when Emily the naturalist made the announcement, and we all ran to, I think it was the front or the back, and it was but yes, I did get to see the Northern Lights. And on that cruise in particular, I think we only saw, I think, two whale breaches. I think Uncle Brady was lucky enough to catch one of them because a cleaning lady was cleaning the window and she like alerted everybody and they all came over and started filming. But yeah, so that's kind of the draw. And again, it's one of those things that you learned. I'm sure you had a wonderful time in Alaska, even if it was in September and there was, maybe not as much wildlife as you would have liked, but you kind of live and you learn. And now you can have a totally different experience, Nettie and JT, if you go in the earlier part of when the season opens, end of April, May. Middle of May is probably really, really good. Let's see. Everyone's favorite couple is here. Hello, YFC. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are talking about cruise regrets. If you've ever had a regret on a cruise, not necessarily regretting the whole cruise, but if you did regret the whole cruise, you let us know. But a certain scenario or something that took place that maybe made you regret a certain cruise. I pulled actually some questions from Reddit today. So what are your cruise regrets? That's our second question that we're talking about. Because I'm not doing any of the crazy news that's going on today in the cruise world. So definitely chime on in. Oh, kick me all the way up here. I gotta find. Okay. I regret not ordering 3 orange cakes. Yes, that orange cake that I had in the buffet was not good, and I know I have to find one in the main dining room. But Billy J, shebang is hit or miss. It really is. It is. The people were the most important thing on the Paradise. It definitely was. Yes, extreme situation. That is way too long to get in here, but I did go above and beyond to fix the situation. Oh wait, did I miss something? Where is it, Law? I missed something. I missed it. Sorry. The only excursion we regretted was the Turtle Center. Oh my lord. We had a great time posing with the turtles, but when we got in the lagoon to swim with them, they shut it down. Our daughter was disappointed. Yeah, that would kind of disappoint me too. It's kind of like the highlight to swim with them, right? In the lagoon. Regret not taking more cruises before now. Totally okay with that. That's fine. You got more time to take cruises. Good morning there, Mobile Mike. Welcome in. I regret that I didn't eat more arepas. Yeah, I wish I had one of those for breakfast right now. 110%. Zach, I was only joking with you, but yes, I know you are back at work. I'm just joking and ranking with you. Crossing my fingers that you can be there. I know. I am definitely 110%. Let's see here. Randy says, I'm with you when it comes to guys. Yeah, I'm not over guys, but it's just kind of one of those things that I'm like, okay, if the line's not big, I'll get a pig pen, whatever. Or not the ringer, sorry, the one with the onion ring on it. One free dinner and then $8 after that. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did the free one. That's what I did back in 2024 when I went on the Jubilee. Edna's World is here. Good morning, Miss Edna. We are talking about cruise regrets right now. I pulled some questions from Reddit because I didn't want to talk about the crazy things going on in the cruise world. So any cruise regrets that you might have had, not total cruise regrets, but maybe like one centralized cruise regret that you may have had for an excursion or a sailing or itinerary, 2 or 3 days in, you're like, I love cruising, but I regret this, or I regret this decision, or I regret doing this. Let's see here. I regret nothing from a cruise. Okay, too. That's okay. I love that mindset, and I knew that there would be a lot of you too that had no regrets on a cruise, and that is totally okay. The worst cruise ship I've been on was the Carnival Triumph. The junior suite was nice, but the rest of the ship was in rough shape. 2 weeks later, she broke down and had to. You were on the Triumph 2 weeks before? Wow. You should almost do like a vlog about that, or a video or something. I was on the cruise 2 weeks before it pooped out. There you go. There's an idea for you, Rick. I don't care much for Chugganas. Don't even know what that is, Andrew. Cozumel in September was almost a regret. Ooh. I'm going to Alaska in mid-September this year. You let us know if you regret that or not. Or you might see the Northern Lights maybe a little late, but you still have a chance. You definitely have a chance. Let's see here. We saw a ton of Alaska wildlife in late August, early September. Ooh, lucky you. Lucky you. You know, sometimes it does happen. Sometimes it definitely does happen, but more likely to see it earlier in the season. So you definitely got lucky. Didn't see salmon or bears at the end of May. Oh, when did we went end of August when we saw the Northern Lights, and then I went in the middle of May, and we saw a lot of wildlife in the middle of May. Or was it towards the end of May? That was when, well, actually, I went with Aunt June and Uncle Brady both times, but I think Aunt June, that was in the middle of May, and on that little boat that takes you out to the glacier, we saw bears, we saw baby bears, we saw eagles, we saw those things that get up on the glaciers, the sea lions or not mountain lions, sea lions or sea seals or sea whatever they are. You know, those things, whatever. Let's see. But off end of season can save you money, which I'm sure that's probably why you did it. It's definitely true. But the weather sucked each time. Oh man, gonna try one more time in July in a couple years. Okay, cool. I love Alaska. We went to Alaska mid-August and saw everything except orcas. Ooh. Actually, that is something that I've never seen. I don't think the whales that we saw breach. I don't think they were orcas. I don't think they were orcas. The only regrets I have on cruises is my overpacking. I know, me too. I am like 49.5 every time, and I'm just like, this is the time that I finally learned that I'm not gonna overpack. 49.5. Here I am again. It's just like I show up every time. Rick says, I'm a hurricane magnet. I was on the breeze during the Hurricane Harvey, Song of America, Hurricane Gilbert, Harmony of the Seas during Hurricane Milton, and various other tropical storms. Oh my Lord, Rick. Sheesh. Hurricane magnet. I don't know if I want to sail with that. I regret that I am not cruising more with Scotty. Well, thank you very much. I regret that I'm not cruising more with you for sure. The Italian Cucina. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Aunt June says, I saw every animal that I had hoped to except for a live moose. Yes, we didn't see a live moose. I think we did a moose fart shot, but I don't think we saw a live moose. I think you're right. Hello, Life with Tanisha RN. Welcome in. All right. So I have gotten all the way down to the bottom of the chat. I hope you have enjoyed this roundtable discussion. I know we have talked about some different things that we normally don't talk about, but again, there's some crazy things going out in the cruise world. And if you guys want to find those, you got Google, you have the internet, and there are so many other vloggers that are covering these for various different reasons, but I'm not going to hear. So I knew that I would have my close-knit cruisers. I knew that we can all talk about these different topics, cruise regrets, and then we also talked about some of those ports that you would never go to again or that you don't enjoy. So we definitely gave those cruisers that are going to come in here and find this some really good information about ports that you might not go to, and also some cruise regrets so they can learn too. So thank you guys very much for joining me this Saturday for episode number 36 of the Controversy Cast. Hello, JNT Adventures. Welcome in. And I hope you guys all do something this weekend that makes you guys smile. Go out there on this Saturday. It is beautiful here in Scottsdale. So I hope it is beautiful where you guys are. And I hope you guys go out and do something that makes you guys smile. So thank you all of my close-knit cruisers for coming in and having this discussion with me. Thank you for my Mugshots feature, Mr. Zach from Coker Culture. He's like a brother. I pick on him like he's my older brother. So thank you guys very much. I will see you guys at on Monday morning on Mr. Chet's channel for our other podcast, the Conscious Cruiser podcast, over on Mr. Chet's channel at 8:30 Eastern time on Monday morning. So we will see you guys all there. Love and appreciate you. Go out and do something this week that makes you guys smile. Cheers. Love you all.